Hello everyone. So in this video, we are going to explain or you will learn about research methodology in LT, and we are going to discuss about research paradigm, qualitative research, and research question. So here we will share our PPT. Wait for a minute. Okay. Can you see the PPT? Kak Grace, how about you?
Yeah. Yes, I can see it.
Okay. So we are going to share what our understanding about research methodology in LT. I am Tessa and my friends.
I am Grace.
So we are going to discuss the research methodology, research question paradigms, and also the qualitative research. So at the first, I want to ask you, what is research methodology? You can pause this video and answer it in the comment below. Okay. Research methodology is the way we design, conduct, analyze, report, and interpret research studies. So what I have said before, that we are going to learn about research paradigm, qualitative research, and research question. At the first, we are going to learn about research paradigms. So what is research paradigms? According to Kant, 1962, a research paradigm is the set of common beliefs and agreement shared between scientists about how problems should be understood and addressed. And what we are understanding is research paradigm is the way researchers see the world. The paradigm will affect on the researcher's data, such as the questions that will be asked, the data collected, methods that will be used, and the results which we'll find. In the research paradigm, there are three types of research paradigms. First, positivism. The second is interpretivism. And the last is pragmatism. For the first, positivism, these are the characteristic of positivism people. The researchers uh, use objective reality, and positive paradigm is researchers try to explain, predict, or control reality, which is objective reality. And positive people tend to use quantitative methods such as distributing questionnaire and doing statistical analysis. The second, we are going to explain about interpretivism. So these are the characteristics. First, interpretivism paradigm means how the researchers interpret the world from participants' paradigms. The second, subjective process. So it's different from positivism people, and interpretivism people tend to use qualitative method such as doing interview and observation. And the last is pragmatism. Pragmatism is the combination between two, two paradigms, which are positivism and interpretivism. Pragmatist people tend to use mixed methods such as qualitative methods and quantitative methods. Then the next we are going to explain about qualitative research that will be explained by Kak Chris.
Okay, thank you, Tessa. Next. So, hi guys. We're going to talking about qualitative research methods. So, first, I would like to ask you, what is qualitative research methods? You can think a little bit, and then I'll explain about it. Okay, next. Qualitative research is a type of social scientific research that collects and works with non-numerical data and that seeks to interpret meaning from those data to help us understand social life through the study of target population or places. So, this research is used as research for social life, and qualitative research data is descriptive from the society that we observe. So qualitative data is not numerical data, but it's more like descriptive data. Next. In qualitative research, we are going to talking about the characteristic, qualitative methods, qualitative design, and an example. The first is the characteristic of qualitative research. Okay, so there are four the characteristic of qualitative research based on Creswell 2013, Hatch 2002, and Marshall and Rossman 2011. The first is natural setting. So in here, the researcher will do face-to-face interaction with the participant. And the second one is researcher as key instrument. So in here, the researchers collect the data by themselves. And then the third, multiple sources data. In here, the researcher gather multiple forms of data, like doing interview with the participants and observation the activity of the participant. And then the fourth is inductive and deductive data analysis. In here, inductive and data analysis is inductive is process illustrates working back and the forth between them terms and the database until the researchers have established a comprehensive set of terms. And then the deductive analysis is the researchers look back at their data from the terms to determine if more evidence can support its term or whether they need to gather additional information. And then the five is participant meaning. Participants meaning, it means the researchers keep a focus on learning the meaning that the participant hold about the problem or the issue, not the meaning that the researchers bring to the research or that writers express in the literature. And then the six is emergent design. In here, the researcher plan for research cannot be tightly prescribed. And then the seven is reflexivity. In here, the reader should know the researcher's background. And then eight, holistic account. In qualitative research, the researchers try to develop the issues that researchers study. Next, qualitative methods. All right. So there are types of qualitative methods. There are four. The first is qualitative observation, which means the researchers will take field note on the behavior and activities of the individuals of the participants. And then the second one is qualitative interview. In here, the researchers have to face-to-face or using telephone to interview the participants to gain the data. And then the third, qualitative documents, which means in here, the researcher have to take public documents or private documents. And the fourth, qualitative audio and visual material, it means the researcher uh, take the form of photographs and art objects, videotapes, and etc. Next. Okay, the next one is qualitative design of qualitative research. So qualitative design is focused on data collection, analysis, and writing, but the originate out of discipline and flow throughout the process of research. For example, types of problems, ethical issue of importance. Next. There are five types of design by Marshall and Rossman 2011. For the first and second is narrative and phenomenology. It means the researchers have to study individual to gain the data from the participants. And then the third and fourth is case study and grounded theory, which means the researchers explore process, activity, and events. And then the five, ethnography, which means the researcher learn about broad culture, sharing behavior of individual or groups of the participants. And then there is example of qualitative article. So in here you can see, guys, in here qualitative article is more like describe, yeah? As I mentioned before. If you want to find out if the article is qualitative article, you can see there is proof in the third. Peskin's in-depth study represents a qualitative research that uses observation and unstructured interview. So if you find out if the methods, in the part of the method, if they said observation and interview, it means qualitative research. And if you find out if the article there is no numerical data, all of them is the article is all of them describe, it means qualitative article.
Next.
And the
Then
next,
we have discussed about research paradigm and qualitative research. So in the last topic, we are going to discuss about research question. So what is research question? Research question is a question that a research project sets out to answer. Research questions are the most important things in research. It determines the methods of data collection and the research design we will need to have. So research question will affect the methods that researchers will use to gain the data from the participant. So this is some principles of good research question. The first is a research question discuss about one issue only, and then the research question should be specific and focused about something or things. And then research question is the question not being assumption for people. Then it's also researchable. And the last is research question should have meaningful, whether the answer is yes or no.
okay, can a research question be in the form of yes or no questions? The answer is yes, because to further investigate a certain problem, we should first investigate whether or not the problem exists first. But we should add to what extent to our yes or no questions to allow us to report the findings in a more open-ended way. For example, do the pre-service teachers use smartphone in teaching English? It stands to what extent do the pre-service teachers use smartphone in teaching English? In here, you can see why we don't use do the pre-service teachers. We change to what extent, because if we only ask about do the pre-service teacher use smartphone in teaching English, the participant might be answer only yes without another explanation. But if we start question with we change to what extent do the pre-service teacher use smartphone in teaching English, the participant might be answer yes or no with their explanation. Next.
And there are three types of research question. The first is descriptive research question. So in this is type of research that describe a population situation or phenomenon that is being studied. It focuses on answering the how, what, when, and where questions if a research problem rather than the why. So in the descriptive research questions, the questions will begin with how much, how regularly, what percentage, what time, what is, but also sometimes the question starting with what is and what are. And the example of descriptive research questions, the question will be what percentage of Indonesian men and women exceed their daily calorified allowance? And the variable is daily calorified intake, and the group are Indonesian men and Indonesian women. The second type is comparative research questions. This type aims to examine the differences between two or more groups on one or more dependent variables, although often just a single dependent variable. The question typically starts by asking what is the difference in a particular dependent variable, for example, weekly photo uploads on Facebook between two or more groups, for example, Indonesian men and Indonesian women. And the example of comparative research questions for the questions is what is the difference in the weekly photo uploads on Facebook between British male and female university students? The dependent variable is weekly photo uploads on Facebook, and the groups are male, which is British university students, and female, which is British university students too. And the next, Kak Grace.
And the next, the last types of research question is casual research questions. Is cause and effect questions designed to determine whether one or more variables cause or affects one or more outcome variables. The two objective of causality research are identifying the cause and variables affected by it in order to frame a causal research question. So the typical questions of causal research question is what is the relationship between should be followed by between or amongst. Some example of causal research question are as follow. The question is what is the relationship between age and attitude towards online dating among youth? The dependent variable is attitudes towards online dating. Independent variable is age, and the group is youth. Okay, here the example of research question from article you can see in here. Uh, in here, in the left article, you can read this research strives to answer the following research question. First is, how does think per share approach influence the 9th grade students' reading activity? The second is, does think per share approach increase the 9th grade student reading performance? Next, I will explain in the next slide. So So in here, based on the article before, we can see if this is descriptive research question because the researcher on the article explained the question um, by 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 collecting data naturally and observation, and then the method that he used is descriptive statistics. So the researcher explained it more likely descriptive than use use numerical data. But this article is also have numerical data, but uh, I only show you the part of the question that explain that uh, the result is explained by qualitative the result is explained by qualitative methods.
Okay, I
I
think
think
that's
that's
all for us.
from
So you have learned about research paradigm, qualitative research, and also research question. If you have any question, you can comment in the chat box or comment box. So Later on, we will answer your question. So we think that's all for me. I'm Tessa and my friends.
Grace, thank you for having us. Thank you so much.
Thank you. See you in the next video.
Yeah, I see
Bye.
you.